elections, was a principal player in the NDA, was also somebody very, very instrumental in orchestrating, of course, the great resounding win of the Mahayuti in Maharashtra across 3 elections, one after the other. Of course, there was a bit of a setback in the Lok Sabha, but that was something that has been corrected now. But his loss coming at a time such as this, when the need of the hour is stability and a new dawn in Maharashtra under the Mahayuti, is going to be obviously bad news. It's not going to be the best of news. That's an understatement. What we can tell you, of course, is that as of now, the information that we're getting from the ground is very, very sketchy. And over to you for more updates.
Right, Rahul, thank you so much for those details. So very, very unfortunate piece of news that we are having to put out for our viewers. The Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Ajit Pawar, has in fact passed away because of this plane crash that happened in Baramati. Remember, he was traveling from Mumbai, about to land in Baramati for 4 public meetings, is when the plane resulted or in fact had to take an emergency landing, and in an attempt to land on an emergency basis is when this crash happened. As you can see from the visuals that we have put out, the mangled remains of the plane, the wreckage, that is amply clear than how badly the plane had crashed, and the impact was so much that we cannot ascertain how many people really in fact left that scene of the crash unscathed. And this is the unfortunate piece of news that we are putting out. There were 6 people. It was a 6-seater that we are learning of, the chartered plane. Ajit Pawar was very much on board that aircraft is when this crash happened. 6 people have died in that plane crash, and it is also being said that Ajit Pawar's body is currently at the Baramati Medical College, where his mortal remains have been kept. And it's also being claimed that all the 6 people on board that aircraft that crashed have in fact died. My colleague Mayuresh Ganpate with us on the broadcast. Mayuresh, unfortunate piece of news. The Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Mr. Pawar, is no more, along with 5 others who were also on board that aircraft.
So we are yet to get the official confirmation from the medical team who was treating Ajit Pawar, who is still treating Ajit Pawar. But the information which we are getting from the multiple sources that approximately 5 to 6 passengers were there. And after this massive landing crash which had happened in Baramati airstrip, the locals, the report which we are getting that there is no chance of any survival from this particular crash. So it's a very unfortunate incident which had happened, because we have been given to understand that yesterday, after attending the cabinet meeting, Ajit Pawar was today flying to Baramati to attend the rallies and address the rallies, because on 5th and 6th, these are the crucial dates for all political parties in Maharashtra. There are ZP elections which are going to happen on 5th and 6th. There will be a result. So for that, Ajit Pawar was traveling to Baramati. There were 4 to 5 rallies of Ajit Pawar which were organized in Baramati district, and that's why he was traveling there. We have been also given to understand approximately at 8:10 or between 8:10 to 8:20, the flight took off for Baramati, and the crash happened between 9 to 9:15. But how this crash had happened, what exactly went wrong, so all this will come in the investigation when the DGCA will launch it. But it's a very unfortunate news which we are getting from our sources within the ATC that the 5 to 6 people who were on board, no one has survived.
Right, so 9:12 a.m. is when the ATC was informed about this crash. We're learning that this was a Learjet 45XR aircraft on which Ajit Pawar was on board, and the DGCA too has now confirmed this news that all the people who were on board that ill-fated aircraft have in fact died after the crash that has taken place. Our other colleagues, Pallavi, Payal, Arunima, also continue to be with us. Pallavi, very unfortunate piece of news that we have had to track this morning. Ajit Pawar passing away.
Absolutely, we're right inside the parliament where in fact the all-party meeting was about to begin, and Supriya Sule was expected to come for the meeting, but of course now she's rushing to Baramati. Ajit Pawar, who when he broke away from the Pawar family, he still continued to maintain very, very good equations. And I remember when we used to travel to Baramati for the elections, Supriya Sule had always made it a point to have that connect with Ajit Pawar family. I mean, despite the fact that there may have been a political parting of ways, but the personal remaining together it was very much there. Therefore, it comes as no surprise that Supriya Sule is dashing off from the national capital. And as Payal was pointing out, the parliament session begins today. And in fact, all of those, whether they are from the Ajit Pawar faction, that's the NCP, whether it is from the Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde, in fact, all the leaders are very much here in the national capital, as was Supriya Sule from the NCP Sharad Pawar faction, to take part in the budget session of parliament. But of course, the personal tragedy which has hit them has made them overlook any kind of political differences that may have had. And therefore, Supriya Sule, Praful Patel, all of them completely rushing to the spot. And with that, I would say it's a turnaround moment as far as the politics and the life and times of Maharashtra politics is concerned. But it's a moment for that later. Officially now, Lokmat has confirmed to CNN News 18, as we all have been pointing out, statement can come out from the DGCA anytime soon, as Anvit, my colleague who covers aviation, is also pointing out. Yes, it's absolutely a horrible news, but also news which is, in a sense, shows one, the fragility of life, and second, also bridges all the political differences one may have had, because at the end of the day, politicians do maintain their personal contact, and that is what we are going to see today between the Sharad Pawar family and that of Ajit Pawar as well.
Right, absolutely. And death being that unfortunate leveler is what Pallavi is speaking about. We are getting information as we continue to track all the details. Ajit Pawar, unfortunate piece of news. He is no more. He's died in that plane crash. Rahul Shivshankar is also joining us on the broadcast. Rahul.
Yes, indeed. Sad news coming through. DGCA sources also now confirming to News 18 that 5 people have passed away in this very, very tragic crash that has taken place under circumstances that can only be described as unfortunate. What we do know, of course, is that the family of Mr. Ajit Pawar, including, of course, the extended family, Supriya Sule and Sharad Pawar, are rushing right now to Baramati. This is news that will, of course, shake the political firmament, as Pallavi is saying. And I just want to drag Pallavi back into this conversation. These pictures that we're seeing on our screens show you that the chances of anyone having got away unscathed were very, very narrow to begin with. News coming in now, of course, Pallavi. What is expected to transpire as far as the next 24 hours are concerned? Of course, there's going to be an inquiry, a detailed inquiry that will be instituted by the DGCA. But what is the procedure that is followed at times such as this, especially when Parliament is convened?
Well, I mean, the parliament will reconvene at 11 a.m. and as per the roster, it's the presidential speech which is going to take place, which takes place in the beginning of every budget session. I think even the government and the parliament is going to be waiting for that official words to be coming in. I think they're also going to wait. These are sensitive times. The family is very much over here in the national capital, and they are rushing over there into Baramati even as we speak. They'll, of course, give that first movement, the private movement and the personal movement to the family. That word will be conveyed to them, and then of course the procedure is very simple. It gets conveyed obviously to the speaker. Ajit Pawar, of course, is not a member of parliament, but he's a politician. He's also a deputy CM of Maharashtra, so he holds that constitutional position. And as I was talking about, I mean, we all have done multiple stories and ground reports on the break within the Pawar family, because Ajit Pawar chose to break away from Sharad Pawar. There was several name calling which was given, but Ajit Pawar has proved himself as someone who could be a worthy carrying of the NCP tradition as well. But despite that, as recently, I remember there was a wedding which took place in the national capital. Ajit Pawar was sitting and seen along with Supriya Sule. They do share the very close bond. That bitterness has not come across in the family. She used to call him Kaka. I remember whenever we used to meet her in Baramati during the elections, not a bitter word. Obviously, in politics, when you're political opponents, you attack each other. But that personal bitterness was never ever there to see. I think they maintained that maryada, they maintained that decorum, that grief you're going to see smile writ large on the faces of Sharad Pawar's extended family, that of Supriya Sule, and just about everyone. I mean, everyone acknowledged the fact that Ajit Pawar had come out of the shadows of Sharad Pawar. But to quickly go back to the procedure, the Speaker of the House is, of course, informed as the Vice President, as the Chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. The government then takes on the moment from there. We are going to wait for the first official word, which is going to come in from the Maharashtra government, from the central government. But of course, it's confirmed by Lok Pawan, by the DGCA statement, and we're waiting for the official statement, of course, to come across.
Yes, News 18 Marathi, as well as, of course, the DGCA,